Unit 3 is pretty straightforward. There are 4 assignments, and each of the assignments is similar to 1 or 2 of the assignments you've previously completed. We begin with more coordination. This time, however, you'll be coordinating right-hand melodic lines and rhythms over a walking bass line in the left hand. We then continue with harmonization. This harmonization is an introduction to what is called spread harmony, where you have a lead note on the top, the 3rd and 7th are in the middle, and the root is in the bottom voice. After that, we've got another shuffle solo, and I'll take you through all of that in the instructional video. And finally, we're going to have you play another tune in 3 different keys. This time it's Black Orpheus. Okay, let's get into Unit 3. We're going to start with coordination number 3 in F. And our first task is to learn this left-hand accompaniment, which is imitative of a bass player. It's a walking bass line, a very common one. And my suggested fingering, which is indicated here, will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that you're not playing the same notes when you go down as you did when you went up. Now, to address that, we're going to use some of the same practice strategies that we use to learn chords and the chromatic scale. So let's use some repetition of each note to help set the shape of our hand and get muscle memory working for us. So 4 repetitions, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's just work on this first measure and get comfortable with that. So 3 repetitions now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 repetitions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just play it now. And notice there's a little bounce with my forearm. I think that's a good thing. Remember, we had a lot of bounce going on. And that motion helps give you something very concrete to experience. Your beat. It's like you're dancing at the piano. Okay, let's work on the descending part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go up and down. 4 repetitions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 repetitions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's just play it now. Let's look at the right hand now. That's a very easy pattern to find. And that's good. Right now we're just going to get our beat going. So you should feel the quarter notes in your forearms. As you get more comfortable with the notes, see if you can get more of this feeling going on. And as that comes together, let your body just join the dance. It'll probably be a little tight at first, but as you get to know the content, feel free to just get into the groove of it. By that I mean, find how you're going to move at the piano. I mean, there's something very confining about dancing while sitting. I think one of the challenges we have as pianists is to find a way to get grooving while, and when I say grooving, like a dance, move appropriately so that it informs the music. And coming back to how long the bass should be, that sounded pretty legato to me. Let's go in the other extreme. Let's make the left hand kind of short. Let's make both right hand and left hand short. Now the right hand has a lot more movement in the forearm. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think amplifying movement right now is going to help you get a physical sense of how things line up. So go ahead and play it, almost like you were playing a mallet instrument or the drums. Let's try legato on the right hand, short in the left. Okay, what haven't we done? Short in the right, legato on the left. Experiment with duration, legato versus staccato. All of that will help you find just that right duration for what's going on in either hand. You don't want to obsess and fuss too much about the exact duration. You'll know when it's grooving and when it's not. Okay, moving along. So now that we're playing the blues scale up the entire octave, we have to block it out a little differently. So I'm suggesting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since we have triplet rhythms, maybe we should try threes. Maybe sixes. Let's try that with the left hand now. Sixes. And notice I'm changing, my articulation. I decided I'd played it legato enough. Could I also play with a shorter duration in the left hand? How long should it be? Again, I don't necessarily want to answer that question, but if you are consciously exploring duration, you're going to find that right place that right duration that's going to make it groove. Well, let's go ahead and play this now. How about short all the way? How about long? How about long in the left hand, short in the right hand? Long in the right hand, short in the left hand. Woo! Now let's just play it. And let's let the feeling kind of determine how it sounds. Hopefully, as you get to know the content, you can kind of relax a little more and just absorb the feeling of the beat and groove with it. Okay, the next three, I'm just going to play them for you. The only thing tricky about this sequence that happens in 5, I think, is the chord on the end of 4 in the second measure. I play the grace note with a slide, either with my index finger, the thumb, you have to go in and then come out. Experiment with either of those. Use the thumb, come in. You don't have to come in so much. And it depends on how big your hands are. You'd be surprised at how far you can stretch between the index and fifth finger. All right. And when we play this chord on the end of 4 in the second measure and we're swinging, just make sure to make that independent of your left hand. And that's what'll give it that nice groove pocket. Get it moving, just like you did with the shuffle. That movement is not wasted energy. It creates a very real experience for you to know where the tempo is. It makes your tempo real. So notice that I have suggested that you play each of these sequences 4 times. I probably should have said at least 4 times, because the longer you play any of these sequences, the more likely you are to really settle in and to really carve out a deep groove. Moving on, the next groove . That's just a nice kind of funky accompaniment. And then the very last one is a nice background riff. And notice, if you can find that position, you should be able to play it. Anyway, as you get to know these better, just come back with the goal of getting the groove going. Just like we did with the shuffle, coordination exercises, and solos. Okay, the next assignment in Unit 3 is a harmonization assignment. And this is going to require some playing and some writing with a pencil. So we have lead notes, so none of the notes we're going to write in will be any higher than the lead note. We have this first melody, and all of the chords we're going to put to it will be major 7th chord. I don't expect you to just sit down and play it. I think it would be better if you wrote it out first. Nothing will slow you down in a more productive way than a pencil. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write in the roots. That's easy. You look at the chord symbol and you write it in. Then I think if you follow this harmonization formula, we can put in the 7th. Now we're looking at major 7ths. An easy way to pop out major 7ths is to find your root, then find the octave, and then slip your thumb down a half step. That'll be your major 7th, so you can use the piano to help us find these notes. So that's an A natural. And then when we go to B major 7th, find the octave and then down a half step. Because it's B major 7th, I think we'll call it A sharp. And then D flat major 7, okay? There's my root. I'll go to the octave. And now I have a C natural. So those are the two bottom notes of the harmonization. Now we have to get the 3rd in there, and we're going to put that in the right hand part. The harmonization formula has a line in the middle of it. That's to show you the split between the hands. So the 3rd, okay, let's see, B flat. It's a major 7th, so we want a major 3rd. It's going to be a D. Write it in. And then for B major 7, it's going to be D sharp. And then for D flat, F. Let's keep going. We'll start with the root here, D. I'll keep moving through roots. B, A flat. All right, use the piano. Find my major 7. C sharp for the D major 7. We've already played a B major 7th. We have a different note in the melody, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still A sharp. A, use the octave, and then we drop the octave a half step and we get G sharp. And for A flat, good to go. All right, let's go back to D major 7th. We need to add the 3rd. It's going to be right under. And then with B, find the D sharp, C sharp for the A major 7, and then C natural. All right, there it is. Some of you who have taken freshman theory might be wondering, is it okay to double a note? For instance, when you get to B major, you have a major 7th in the melody. Is it okay to double that? Absolutely, especially since I've given you a formula. So whatever the lead is, the lead might be a 3rd, it might be a 7th. Don't worry about it. Just follow the formula for now. The harmonization exercises will be less formulaic later. We're starting with a formula just to kind of get you comfortable with spelling chords and to distributing the notes in different ways other than just root position. That's the goal here right now. So we've done the brain work here, the theory, the music theory work. Let's be the player now. How do we practice chords? Well, don't try to play all of them, just kind of work in pairs, 3s, 4s. And of course, I'm not doing the whole chord at once. Do the same thing in your right hand. Lots of fingerings will work. At some point, put it together. And as written. Let's move on to the next 4 bars, which are all dominant 7th chords. Well, right in the roots. Okay, I've got my roots. How are we going to find the dominant 7th? Well, for B flat, play the B flat, octave to the major 7th, and then what they call the minor 7th. So it's going to be A flat, B, octave, major 7, minor 7. The interval of a minor 7, not the chord quality. We already know about B flat. Here we go, D flat. Play the octave, down a half step, and we're going to call that C flat. C, work our way down, it'll be a B flat, B, A sharp, okay, A natural. I'm going to put a natural on there just to remind myself. B flat, the octave, major seventh, and then there you go. So we've got all of our dominant sevenths. Next step is to add the thirds. So if we go back to the beginning, B flat 7. All right, and that's got to be below the F, so D, and then D sharp. And we have D natural. I'm going to put a natural sign there just to keep track of things. For D flat, that takes us to F. For C, E, D sharp, alrighty. And then for the last B flat, it's D. So we have them all written down now. Practice them. Well, this left hand is going to feel a little different. These are not the interval of a major seventh. They're the span or interval of a minor 7. So work in pairs. And just go slow. Get it right, because we're going to use all of this throughout the other harmonization exercises and in some of the bebop solos. Right hand. Then together. At some point, all right, the last 4 bars, we'll build it the same way. Let's write in the roots. And now we're going to use that same minor 7th interval next. So when we come back to B flat minor 7, octave, major 7, oh, that takes us to A flat. C sharp minor 7, octave, major 7, to B natural, and be sure to write the natural sign in there. E flat minor 7, octave, major 7 takes you to D, D flat. D minor 7, octave D, takes you to C natural. Okay, F sharp minor, ooh, that takes you to E. A flat to G flat. There we go. And then B flat minor takes you to the octave, and then to A flat. All right. Now the third is going to be the minor third, because we have a minor 7th chord. So B flat minor 7th is going to have D flat as the third, C sharp minor 7, E natural, E flat minor 7, G flat, D minor 7, takes us to F. Okay, F sharp minor 7. Oh my gosh, this is... I'm going to have to go into ledger lines here. There's my A natural. A flat, okay. I think we have to call that C flat. It's going to look like a B to some of you at the piano. It kind of does to me. It's a C flat though. And B flat minor 7. D flat minor. There we go. All right. getting to that F sharp minor in the third bar it's pretty different, isn't it? You go from thirds to this bigger interval of a major seventh in your right hand. You can do it, and then the left hand will be uniform. And use repetition. And I think you want to go back and forth between the D minor 7 and the F sharp minor 7 quite a bit. And then F sharp minor 7 to A flat minor 7. And that should sort it out for you. So harmonization, there's a step where we go slowly with the pencil. Hopefully it doesn't feel too slow. When you have the pencil, your whole sense of pace changes. When you're sitting just at the piano, we tend to want to hurry up. We want to play, we want to have fun. When we've got the pencil, I think we're ready to slow down and think. So I think that getting the pencil out, some manuscript paper or notation software is a great way to help you slow down and think about the details of your harmonization and other elements that we'll be exploring later. So slowing down is very useful. Sometimes it can be excruciating at the piano. Usually it doesn't feel so horrible when you're writing because you're doing something.